Hello guys, and welcome back for a new video. Today I'm going to talk to you about the new router, the new entry router, uh, TP-Link Archer C1200. As you probably already guessed, this is a dual band Wi-Fi AC 1200 router. So this is the router's interface. You can see right here. So this is the login field, and there's also a QR code right here. You can scan it and download the TP-Link Tether app if you need it. Also, there's a shortcut to the producer's support page, and also to the app hub. Okay, so I'm using not an admin password because this is just for demo. Okay, and this is the first part of the administration interface. So this is the quick setup. You need to select your area and click next. Also, for internet connection, you have dynamic IP, static IP, PPPoE, L2TP, and PPTP. Okay, I'm using dynamic IP, so this is what I'm choosing. And next. Also, I do not need to clone my MAC address. So if you need to, you can do that, but I'm not going to do this, so I'm just clicking next. Next, there are the wireless settings. So I want to enable both wireless radios, so I'm going to name this TP-Link 2.4, and I'm going to change the password to test underline 2.4, and the same for 5 GHz wireless. Next. So this is the summary of what I did, and save. As you can see, this is pretty slow, and I can tell you the entire interface seems a bit slow, but as I told you, this is an entry-level router, so this is quite normal, I would say. Okay, and here you can register your TP-Link cloud account to access the cloud functions, or if you don't have an account, you can register one, or if you don't want to use these functions, you can click login later. Okay, finish. So this is the basic part, part of the setup interface. Here you can see a network map, which is very nicely colored. So you can click the icons. So if you click internet, you can see the internet status, the connection type, and the IP address. Also, you can see information about your wireless radios right here, about your wired clients. So you can see, as you can see, this is the PC I'm using right now. There's no wireless client connected at this point, but if there was, it would have showed up here. And there's no printer either, but there is an USB disk drive. Okay. There's also this help button, so whenever you don't know what something does or doesn't, you can click it and see some explanation. Okay, next, internet. So this is the same as before. You can choose the type of your internet connection, as you can see. But I'm leaving it to dynamic. Next, wireless. So these are the two wireless radios, the two wireless networks right here. If you want, you can choose to hide one of them or both of them. Next, there are the USB settings, and because I have an USB drive connected to the USB port, I can enable sharing. So this will act like a file sharing on my network, and of course you can enable authentication for this file sharing if you want to. As I told you, there's no printer connected right now, so I can disable the print server completely. Next, the parental controls. Okay, so this is what you can do. You can choose a device, you can add a description, and you can select internet time for that device, because maybe you don't want the device to have internet connection at all time. Okay, but I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to restrict my internet connection. And disable. I don't have any children, so I don't need the parental controls anyway. Next, guest network. Okay, you can enable guest network both for 2.4 and 5.0 gigahertz. But I'm going to enable it only for 2.4, like this, and I'm going to also set up a password. Also, you can allow guests to see each other or to access your local network if you want to. I don't want to, so I'm not going to enable to check these boxes. And next, there's the same TP-Link cloud I told you before. The next setup mode is called advanced. So this is the most advanced setup mode, and this is the status page. As you can see, it is much more comprehensive than before. And here you should get all the important information about your router. Also, there's some CPU load and memory usage information right here. I don't know if this is accurate or real time, because 96% CPU load doesn't seem correct at this point, as there's no traffic on my network. Okay, let's try and go here and then back here. Okay, so now it shows 80%. Okay, so this is I think this is basically useless. Okay, let's move on. Network, internet. So, as you can see, it's the same as before. Static, dynamic, PPPoE, big PAN cable, L2TP and PPTP. Also there's the advanced section as well. Next, LAN settings. So this is the IP I'm using on my local area network and the subnet mask. Next, IPTV. As you can see, this is enabled by default. You can disable it if you want to, or change the version. Next, DHCP server, which is of course enabled, and the start IP address is 100. Of course, you can change this as well, and you can insert manual DNS servers. Also, you can make address reservations based on your physical address. Okay, so as you can see, you can close that pop-up with the QR code, which was really annoying. Okay. And also you can see here the DHCP client list. Next, dynamic DNS. So you can use TP-Link, dynamic DNS, or no IP dynamic DNS, or DIN DNS. For TP-Link, for the TP-Link solution, you need to have TP-Link ID. Advanced routing. So there's the static routing option. And below you can see the routing table. Next, there's the wireless section. So wireless settings. As you can see, this is much more advanced than before. So you can choose the security version and encryption. Also you can choose the security type, the password, the wireless mode, the channel width. So I'm going to use 40 megahertz for 2.5 gigahertz wireless, because there aren't so many wireless networks in my area, so this won't bother anyone. And I'm going to leave the channel to auto, but you can select which suits you better. And transmit power, of course, high. Save. Next, 5 GHz. So the same security level, version, encryption, password, mode, channel width, 80 megahertz, and channel. So there are 4 available channels. I'm going to use the auto because there's no 5 gigahertz wireless network in my area anyway. And transmit power high. Next, WPS. Okay. So router spin disabled, which is good. I'm not using this function anyway. Statistics. There's no wireless device connected right now, so there's nothing to see here. Guest network. It basically provides the same options as before, plus this security area, which is more comprehensive than before. Net forwarding. Okay, so as you can see, all these application layer gateway services are enabled by default. You can disable them if you need to or want to. Next, virtual servers. So you can manually define them. These are some preset servers, or you can manually insert external port or port range, internal IP, internal port or port range, and of course protocol. Next, port triggering. The same. There are some preset applications available, or you can manually insert them. The demilitarized zone, and of course the universal plug and play service, which is by default enabled. USB settings, device settings. So here you should have your connected devices turning up. As you can see, I have mine, and you can set the sharing access. You can use the default account, or you can use another account. Also, you can share the files on your network via FTP or via FTP through the internet. Also, you can share all, or you can choose what you want to share. Okay. Next, there's the print server. I already told you twice. I think I don't have any printer connected right now. So let's move on to parental controls. which you already saw this part, and there's also content restrictions, so you can insert keywords that are blocked, so blacklisted or whitelisted. Okay, you can add domain name for the whitelist and keywords for the blacklist. Okay, but I'm not using parental control, so I'm not going to set anything right here. Next, there's the QoS, quality of service, which is impossible to use if you want to use NetBoost, and I do because I want to have the full performance of this little device, so I won't be able to use the quality of service. But this is how it should work. You can add devices or applications and set priorities for each category: high, middle and low priority. Also you can upload database for the quality of service device. Well, quality of service, sorry. Next, security. By default the firewall is enabled, and there's also a DOS protection, but this is not available if you don't use traffic statistics, and I think you can't enable traffic statistics as long as you are using NetBoost. Okay. There's also access control. IP and MAC binding. Next, IPv6 version 6, which is by default enabled. But because I'm not going to use it, I am going to disable it for now. Next, and this is very interesting, there's the VPN server support, and TP-Link added in this little device support both for OpenVPN and for PPTP VPN servers, and I think this is rather nice. And here you can see the VPN connections. And finally, system tools. Okay, so this is the time setting. So as you can see, you can set the time manually, or you can get it automatically from the internet, which is what I'm doing right now. Next, there's the diagnostics page with ping and traceroute commands. can upgrade the firmware, so you can check online, or you can go for a local upgrade. So you need to browse, to download the file, to browse for it, and then click upgrade. Backup and restore, so you can save a copy of the current settings. You can restore settings from a previous save, or you can factory restore the device. Administration. Okay, so this is where you can change the administrator password. You can also enable password recovery using email. You can okay. So you can enable access to the router setup from all local area network connected devices, or you can specify certain devices. And also you can enable or disable remote management. And finally there's the system log. Which you can send to your email if you want to. Okay, so that's basically all the setup for this router. So this is the TP-Link Archer C1200 router. Also you can change the language right here, and there's also a button to which allows you to enable and disable the LEDs on the front side of your router, like this. Okay, so now they are off, and once again they are back on. Okay, so that's basically all you can do with the setup interface of the new TP-Link Archer C1200 router. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.